Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Andrew.
And welcome to this episode of Glitchcast, in which we talk about the songs from our playlists that really rock our worlds. But before we get into that, this episode is sponsored by Thick Boys. Give them a listen on soundcloud.com/thickboys. That's THICCCBOIIIZ. A couple quick notes about that. Colton and Ryan put in serious work writing and producing their own music, and they've really earned a listen. Just a quick heads up, though. Some of their songs have some pretty explicit language, but I'm personally vibing with their track, New Poison. It's one of these songs that kind of works on two levels for me. I can shut my brain off, but there's still kind of these multiple layers of thoughts that I find myself kind of getting into while I'm listening to them.
And they describe themselves as being bad boys with big hearts, making a mix of anti-establishment and lovesick songs.
Yeah. So fun fact for you guys, Colton and I actually go way back. We met in middle school and became friends, bonding over common interests like TV shows, movies, and video games. He's a great dude who has always dreamed of making music his entire life. And I'm really proud as his friend to watch how far he's come. I was ecstatic when he texted me and told me about their work.
So if you head on over to soundcloud.com/thickboys and take a good old listen to them.
And reminder, that's Thick Boys, 3 C's, 3 I's, and a Z. Now, on to today's topic. Today, we are joined by Glitch Gal Kaley, who came to me with an idea that I thought was just electric, but I thought it was going to be very, very difficult. So, Kaley, do you want to walk us through your idea, kind of what we're going to talk about on Glitchcast today?
Why, sure. So my idea was to figure out your top 5, either song or artists, if you can't choose just one song, that has, I guess, meaning in your life right now. But also I made a little challenge for myself and tried to choose lesser known artists.
Very cool. Yeah, when you gave me the topic, I'll be honest, I like to listen to indie music. You know, I wouldn't say I'm an artist out there doing what these individuals that we're going to talk to are today, but I wish I was. I wish I was talented enough to do that. But that being said, like, I always want to give credit where credit is due. So, yeah, I like the idea of like lesser known and indie artists. So yeah, that's awesome. So what do you think we should do? We start at our number 5 spot and you talk about yours, and then I'll talk about my number 5, and then we go to 4 and 4, kind of work our way up to number 1.
If you want to do that, I didn't put mine in any specific order.
Okay. I did, but I love all of these equally. Like, they're all kind of my number 1 spots, but I did really try to rank mine. I will say the only one that is definitively far above the others will be the last one that I talk about. So yeah, take it away, Kaley. Kind of walk us through your first song/artist here.
All right. Well, the first one on the list is a song called Rises the Moon. Forgive me if I pronounce her name wrong, but I think it's pronounced Liana Flores. She's got 4.5 million listeners on Spotify, which, if you think in the grand scheme of things, is not that actually much.
You know what? That's 4.5 million more than any musical project I've got will be.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. So I mean, congratulations to her for getting that far. That's awesome.
All right. Well, if you haven't heard her song, which I don't think you have, she's more of like an enchanting vintage vibe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What a way to describe her. I want people to start describing me as enchanting and vintage. I've got to
Perfect.
I've got to make that my persona first.
I'll definitely give her a listen.
Yeah.
Some of the notes and the melodies that she does pair together with a lot, like with her voice, along with music that she composes, it gives like a beautiful haunting vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
It's very beautiful.
Cool.
Very beautiful. And I think the meaning of the song, for me at least, because music is subjective, that even though like the days might be long in your life, especially like the ones that you have in low points, it means like there might be hard times in your life, but there always comes rest and a new day.
Yeah. No, I love that. My top 5. This is a big leap. Okay, very far from yours. Okay, Bowling for Soup. Not indie artist at all, but pop punk.
Okay. I have listened to them.
I love Bowling for Soup. In fact, little small brag here. I was according to Spotify Wrapped, 2 years in a row now, I was like in their top 1% of listeners on Spotify Wrapped. And I'm like, that has to come with some perks, like please free tickets or something. No, not really. But I was in their top 1%.
Just come out to my house and play music.
Yeah, we'll just like, come on, man. Let's like, come on, guys. We'll hang out.
Yeah.
I am excited because I'm not sure yet what date this episode will release, but 2 months from now, I'm going to go to a concert that it's got 3 artists there, but they will be one of the 3 bands. And I'm really, really excited. I couldn't really narrow down a specific song, but I really like their song, My Hometown. I like it because, I come from a small town, ironic because I went and lived in a city for a little while and then wound up back in a small town. And I really struggled with the idea growing up that I was really worried. Not that there's anything wrong with my hometown necessarily, but I wanted to get out and explore, the world around me, because a lot of people in my hometown don't do that. Like they're born there, they're raised there, and they stay there. And I was worried I was going to get caught up in that. And that song is an anthem about literally getting out of your hometown. Like the lyrics are, explicit, but getting out of your hometown. But I just kind of like their vibe. I like how they're pop punk without delving into like the political side of pop punk, which arguably is kind of inevitably what happens when you go down like the pop punk rabbit hole. It's all, anti-establishment. It's all, sad boy, angry boy music. But theirs is a lot of it's upbeat. But yeah, there's so many of their songs like that one particularly has kind of been one I've been listening to on repeat here lately. I like their cover of Stacy's Mom actually better than, Fountain of Wayne's, the original. I like it. I like it better from Bowling for Soup. But yeah, their energy. There's also kind of like a quirkiness and a little bit of almost a comedic aspect to their stage presence, which that just keeps me interested in them. But yeah, that's my number 5 spot. Again, it's still tied for second place with the next 3. However, my number 1 spot, like I said, is just far and above the rest. So yeah, lead us through your next one.
Then the next one is actually really special to me because I couldn't pick just one of their songs, but they were my first concert that I went to.
Ooh.
And their title is Jukebox the Ghost. And they only have 415,000 listeners monthly on Spotify.
Wow.
And I believe they started in 2006. So it was way back when I was in high school that I went to a concert, and I believe it was in the Egyptian Room in Indy.
In Indianapolis?
Yes. And Alan Stone opened for them, which is another artist that I love, but not on my list. But they're special. If you like piano, they're a piano rock trio.
Ooh, I love piano.
Yeah, you love them.
You know I'm going to be listening to them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And fun fact, they performed on the late night show with David Letterman.
Ooh, cool.
And Conan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I couldn't pick just one of their songs, but the songs that I listen to on loop would be Everybody's Lonely and Colorful. They're very upbeat. They have clean vocals, which is very important for me because I have a hard time hearing some sounds if they're blended together. But Everybody's Lonely. It like most of their songs are just so upbeat, and it takes like real world problems that everybody goes through in their lives and just kind of puts a positive spin on it.
I like that. I like when music, you said earlier something that I kind of wanted to grab onto as you know, I'm a musician. We're not video recording this episode, but you know, behind you, I literally have 5 guitars hanging on my wall, and then 2 that I'm repairing and turning into, you know, they've been my art projects. But that being said, like being a musician, you're exactly right. Like music is subjective. It's, you know, no 2 people are going to have the exact same interpretation of, you know, a 3-minute and 30-second song. But what I like with some artists or when they try, like they connect with real emotions and, you know, real world situations. So that's awesome. I love to hear it. And you said this is the piano trio, right?
Yes,
like rock
it's
trio.
a piano rock trio.
Yeah. So I will be joining the number of monthly listeners for them.
And
I'm
not
sure.
only that, but Andrew, I introduced them to him.
She did.
Yeah.
And
He
I
loves them.
very much enjoy them.
Yeah.
I have quite a few of their songs on one of my playlists, but my favorite song is, what is it? Somebody, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Somebody.
Yeah.
So I'll have to share that one with you.
And most of their titles are pretty like short, sweet,
Yeah.
to the point.
Memorable.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah.
My next spot is, again, not an indie artist, but Coldplay. Okay. I love Coldplay. Okay. I know they're not everybody's cup of tea. What I love about them is they're highly inspirational. To me, their music, a lot of their songs kind of go hand in hand with what we're trying to do here with Glitchcast. You know, like spreading cheer, unity, and to me that is, it just means so much. You know, but like I said, that's probably the most divisive you know, pick on my list. I would say, because I know some listeners are going to say that and be like, okay, not my thing. They've been, it's been unfortunate because they've been the butt of a lot of like memes and jokes, and it's like hateful stuff. Like the things, you know, it's a lot of people get online and it's not enough to just say like, oh, they're not my thing, but they have to like do the opposite and drag them through the mud. And to me, one thing I try really hard not to do is I don't want to judge someone for their music taste. So it burns me. In fact, I actually kind of adopted that stance from the lead singer in one of the groups I'm going to talk about further down on my list. But because music is always, our enjoyment of music is kind of an extension of us and our souls and who we are as people. And, you know, which again, that's why I go back to Coldplay. I like that it's anthems about hope for me. And, you know, we've all faced battles, mental, physical, emotional, all of that. But for me, they, as cliche as it sounds, you know, everyone's got that band or that music, that one song that like helped them, you know, get out of a dark place. But for me, one of my greatest memories was I was going through a really hard time. And Natalie and I went to a Coldplay concert, and I remember it was in Chicago, and Chris Martin, the lead singer, at one point, you know, everyone's recording and he started a song. They played like the first 10 seconds of it. And he goes, no, stop. Everybody in the audience, put your phones away. He's like, you guys paid a lot of money to be here with each other. So for the next 5 minutes, all I'm asking is for us to just be together, like be as one, and just put yourself in the memory. Exactly. And I remember just getting chills. And he also, in like the middle of his concert, they stopped playing, and I don't know how to describe it other than almost like a sermon. It was just, he delivered like this long message of hope in the middle of their set. And I was sitting there, and I'm not like a crier, right? Like that. I'm not. And that's not me trying to sound like tough or anything like that. Music is vulnerability. So I don't mind saying that.
I'm the crier.
Sure. I'm not. It just is not something that comes to me all that often. Like, but I was pretty close to like, what you would consider, I guess, happy tears, when you're just so overwhelmed with joy that you just cry. I have never done that, and not because I'm not happy, just throwing that out there. But that his message that night just moved me so much. And at the end of the night, Natalie and I were like singing arm in arm with the people on each side of us, just because we were like, why not? We are here in the moment, right? We're not going to be back in this moment. Let's enjoy it. Right. So I put my phone away for like 5.5 minutes, enjoyed the song, and then got my phone back out and recorded most of the rest of the concert. But yeah, Coldplay for me had to make the list. They're just a very inspirational group for me for a lot of reasons. But
I guess I'll have to give them a deeper listen to, because I think the only songs that I would probably know from them are their most popular ones.
Probably Viva La Vida.
Yeah.
Probably The Scientist. If you haven't heard Adventure of a Lifetime, highly recommend. It's a pretty popular one, but by the time that kind of reached popularity, in my opinion, that was around the time people decided they're really on the Coldplay train or they're not.
Right.
So it's up there, but it's not a Viva La Vida. Also, one of my favorite performances, this is the one you need to watch. Okay. Their halftime performance when they performed with Beyonce and Bruno Mars. Okay. It is just, I get chills every time I watch that. It's one of my, I don't have a long list of like favorited videos on video watching apps, but on the one I use the most, that is like one of like 3 videos I've ever favorited. And so I've gone back and like, their live performances, like every band is always a little stylistically different than recordings, like studio recordings. And so I've tried to go back and learn the songs how he played them at the live thing. So like I can play along with it in my earbud and stuff on the piano. And yeah, it's so cool. But yeah, sorry, I can rant about music. That was why when you were like, this is the topic, I was like, I want to do that one with you. I jumped on that like right away. So yeah, that's my number 4 spot. Again, not particularly ranked number 4, but yeah.
Okay.
Would you like to give us your number 3?
Of course, I will. Okay, so it's another artist because I could not pick just one from her. But Rebecca Sugar.
Rebecca Sugar.
She has, and this surprised me, she only has 119.8 thousand monthly listeners.
You don't know the name, but once you hear what she does, you'll understand, and you'll know for sure. So
okay,
and she composes like absolutely beautiful music.
Mm-hmm.
Some upbeat, but I love her voice. It's calming, but also like Jukebox the Ghost, very clear and precise. And she was the creator of Steven Universe.
Really?
Yes.
Holy cow.
Yes.
Okay.
And she was also a storyboard artist and a writer for Adventure Time.
No way.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite shows. Even as a 31-year-old man, I love Adventure Time.
Steven Universe has like become a real big thing for me.
Yeah.
The colors, the story, and I think the music absolutely ties the whole show together.
Yeah.
So I have tons of Steven Universe music on my on repeat list that I will just sing while I'm doing the dishes.
That's perfect.
Yeah. But one of her own songs, her singles, is called Sweet Time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a song really about how everybody else in life, lives their life, go fast, have to get things done quick. But she decides she's just going to sit back and take her time, living her life the way she wants it.
And just live.
Yeah.
Huh. I love that. You're going to relate then to my number one here in a little bit. Is there... So you said she did some work with Adventure Time.
Yes.
Okay, I grabbed onto that because I love that show. Okay, Steven Universe, awesome.
Yes.
But Adventure Time is... I don't even know how to describe how much I love that show. Okay.
She did compose music for that.
She did? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
That was what I was going to ask. That or just like storyboard work or both?
It was the ending credit song.
That Come Along With Me?
She didn't sing it.
Okay.
But I believe she composed it.
She helped write it.
She did.
Yes.
From Google, it says she helped write it, but also she helped create, if not wrote the whole song called Time Adventure, which was another ending song for the show itself.
That's great. Man. Yeah. Then I'll definitely be also giving her a listen. Yeah. Great work, Rebecca Sugar. You helped compose a song that when I hear it, it sparks a lot of thought in me.
A lot of memories.
I think a lot of her songs would, even the ones that aren't in the shows, the ones that she's created on her own.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I'll be giving Rebecca Sugar a little bit of a listen here. My next one, if I'm sure you've heard of them now, at least in some capacity, but Greta Van Fleet. Okay. Greta Van Fleet. First of all, I kind of mentioned them in a different episode. Again, I'm not sure what order these will come out as. So I want to start by giving them all the credit that they deserve. Like these guys bust their rear ends, have busted their rear ends. They wrote their music, like they came out swinging into the music world, I will also say though, I kind of wonder, I'm going to phrase this way so it doesn't sound too accusatory or devalue them and their work in any way. If TikTok would not have been a thing, okay, I kind of wonder if Greta Van Fleet would have taken off. Because there was a meme that kind of developed early in TikTok's life from the lead singer, Josh. There's a song, which I'm not going to sing it, but I'll say the lyrics. He says, "See where we've been. Won't you hold my hand and stay a while?" And when he says this, like he steps back from the mic and he kind of does like this little nod at nothing, to nobody. It's not related to the song. It's not related to the lyrics, but he says that. He steps back and he gives this little like nod. And that just became like this thing on TikTok. So people were like imitating that, like mouthing the words to that song, doing the nod. And then like, haha, that was funny. I got 10,000 likes on my video. And I was kind of like, oh, that's a funny meme, And then I read some comments on this one guy's video. I wish I remembered. It just happened so sudden. It was like one of those things I just was like, I'm not going to take note of who this is. Where the comments were like, one of the top comments that had like 100,000 likes on this guy's video said, "Okay, but have y'all ever actually listened to them? They kind of go off." And I was like, I haven't. Only see where we've been. Nod. Won't you hold my hand and stay a while? On repeat every time I scrolled on TikTok there for a while. So I went and listened to them and holy cow, I'm a big fan of like classic rock music. Okay. And in modern music, there was for a long time a big gap in rock and roll music. There were branches off of rock and roll. Like there's pop rock. There's country rock, but to me, there were no more like Guns N' Roses. There were no more Rolling Stones. There were no Led Zeppelins out there. Right. Greta Van Fleet answered that gap. Okay. Like in a huge way. In fact, one of their biggest criticisms they receive, the lead singer, Josh, sounds a lot like actually a lot of their music sounds like they take inspiration from Zeppelin. But I mean, they do it in such a respectful way. They don't rip it off. I want to start off by saying that people get on comments on TikTok and YouTube and all those video apps and stuff. And they say like, they're just, again, so very full of hate by saying like, this is just a rip off cover Zeppelin band. They're not. I mean, they had, it's stylistic. Sure. Similar to Zeppelin. Sure. But oh my gosh. And their lyrics are also very touching again and gripping. It makes me, when I hear certain songs, like I noted specifically Meeting the Masters, it starts off as kind of like almost like this wistful dream sequence kind of song. And then halfway through, there's just this drum break where they go like, dun, 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 and kick in with like this crazy, like these chords that are just roots of rock and roll. And I'm like listening to that. And the first time I heard that, I literally got chills on my arm, which I was like, oh my gosh, this was so cool. But just to have kind of that transition, like it gripped me with kind of being like that mysterious vibe at the beginning into like this hard rock segment for the entire like latter half of the song, where it just goes really hard. And then it ends again on this really soft kind of like, oh, come on, I want more of this song. And then I will also say the lead guitarist, which, by the way, the pianist, the guitarist, and the lead singer, they're all brothers. The drummer's a good friend of theirs. And they all look very similar. I'm pretty sure, I don't want to get this wrong, so I should have researched it beforehand. Pretty sure the lead singer and the guitarist are actually twins. Like fraternal twins. They don't look exactly identical, but you could tell like their brother, the guitarist, he is like really quickly becoming like one of like the premier guitarists. I mean, he's getting himself up there on like a list of musicians who are going to be remembered for decades and decades. So much so that I'm pretty sure recently he even like signed a deal with like Gibson, like the guitar company, and they're like producing a line of their SG guitars that are like his signature series now. And I mean, even in order to be considered for that, like you have to be like top tier. And I mean, he can just like, he rips some of the most like soulful and powerful guitar solos that I've heard in like recent music. They're getting ready to put out a new album, and it's funny because they keep teasing it on TikTok, little bits of songs here and there, and that's it. And I'm so very excited for it because this one is supposed to kind of go back to their rock and roll roots. The last one was a little more experimental, and it performed. I love it. Meeting the Masters came from that, as well as my second song, Heat Above. I love both of those songs from them. But yeah, if you like a good classic rock tune, look up Safari Song from them. Huge. It's so good. But anyway, sorry, I won't yammer on for much longer about them. But highly worth the listen if you haven't yet heard of them.
No, I haven't heard one lick of them, considering I don't have TikTok.
Yeah.
I was one of those people that were like, nope, not getting it whatsoever.
You resisted the urge. Yeah, I fell victim to it. And honestly, I'm okay with it.
It's not so bad if you use it sparingly, but
I don't use it sparingly. It's my morning and evening routine now, unfortunately. Yeah. But I find things like this and, some other indie artists that almost made my list actually from TikTok. So
I feel that time that TikTok would have taken me with like Facebook Reels and Instagram Reels, which is how I kind of found the next one that I have.
Yeah.
So we're back to songs now. Mm-hmm. And it's called Walk the World With Me by the Home Team. I sent you a song by them before, and I think it was titled Loud. I'm not sure which one I sent you, but they're more of like a rock pop band. And like Jukebox the Ghost, they are very high energy and clean vocals, of course.
Yeah.
You'll be able to understand them. But mainly like this song, I had to have a love song on my list.
For sure.
But it's not like any other typical love song where it's like talking about how great the other person is. It's more of like a longing.
Okay.
So he's basically asking, pleading that he would rather, walk the world with her than walk it alone because he would be lost.
That sounds sweet.
Yeah.
Honestly, that sounds like something we could build a D&D campaign off of. Just saying.
I'm down.
It sounds tragic, you know,
Yeah,
but like in a good way.
But the feel of it, because it's high energy and it's upbeat, it's more a happy tragedy, really, because he's pleading to her.
And at the end, I'm hoping it works out. Or is that up for us to decide?
I guess it's up for us to interpret on our own.
Yeah. I'm going to take a little side street. Okay. Because that really reminds me of, everyone knows the song at this point, Teenage Dirtbag.
Yeah.
Okay. I had never listened to that song all the way through. And you told me what it was about the other day, but focusing like solely on the lyrics, not the underlying story. I had only listened to it about halfway through, and I was so very happy, I guess, at the end, actually listening to it, like, again, 2 weeks ago for the first time all the way through, that it works out for the guy in the end, or the girl, whoever's singing the song, like the Noelle, right? Her name was Noelle. Like comes to him at prom and is like, "You want to go to Iron Maiden with me?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm a teenage dirtbag too." I'm like, because this isn't me fishing for compliments by any means. I am not a conventionally attractive man. That's okay. So I say this again with that only the top layer here, not the underlying dark side of this song. My love stories have all kind of been teenage dirtbag stories where I'm like admiring from afar and I'm like, she doesn't know who I am. And then like at random points, like I met Natalie in band class at college. She literally turned around to me and was like, "You want to hang out?" And I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You know me?" I mean, that's not exactly it, but that's a lot to summarize. That was it.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of similar to that, but with that, maybe without the underlying dark side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it goes that deep.
Sure. I'm a sucker for a love story too. I mentioned that in the video game episode when Andrew and I were discussing Legend of Zelda. And I tried to hide and fight that for a long time. Like, no, love stories, bleh. Nah, I'm a sucker for them. Like a good one.
Well,
good one.
I think that a good handful of their songs are to deal with love.
Yeah.
So I think that you would like them.
Yeah.
And some of them may not be, kid friendly.
Sure. Yeah. A little bit explicit.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's valid.
Good.
Well, speaking of not kid friendly,
here we go.
My next to last one. It's called Ninja Sex Party. Okay. I love this band and I love it for a couple of reasons. First of all, you guys know I'm a huge fan of Game Grumps. Okay.
Yep.
Danny from the Game Grumps is actually the lead singer in the band Ninja Sex Party. I started listening to them probably about as soon as they started putting music out on YouTube years and years ago now. And at first it was just comedy music. It was like comedy rock, comedy pop, kind of like an 80s disco flair in some of their songs. And I'm like, these are kind of great. But the real reason I like them, there's a lot of depth, right? They're obviously their name itself is kind of, it lends to comedy there, but Ninja Sex Party, you know, but a lot of their songs have depth, and they use comedy to talk about things that are tough topics to talk about. So the note I made here, just I don't want to read directly from here, but I gotta read my note because I think I kind of nailed it. I said the songs are quirky and comedic, sure, but lead singer Dan Avidan and the instrumentalist Brian Wecht, who goes by Ninja Brian, by the way, were two people that I admire a lot because they had a dream. Both of them wanted to do music, and they worked really hard to make that dream their reality, without sacrificing the fact that they also wanted to do something that, again, like us, is out there to make people laugh and smile. Yeah. Okay. Just to put it this way, Brian Wecht, I'm not sure exactly what university. I think it was like some university over in New York. He was like a professor of like physics or something like that. I mean, the dude is a genius. Quit that to full send into this like music career. And now he's got a couple little offshoot projects, but he's also like a master of like the saxophone and a phenomenal pianist. I mean, and then just for kicks and giggles, he puts on like a full ninja outfit and performs. A song particularly that I wanted to mention is a song called Danny, Don't You Know? I'll definitely link that to you guys after. But what I like about that song, what I mentioned earlier, it uses that kind of blend of comedy, but also really based in reality to delve into like complex topics like navigating like confusing and kind of awkward points in life, like your teenage years. I mean, in the music video, Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things, he plays a young Danny, because they kind of look related. Like they look like they could be like cousins or brothers or something, but he plays like a young Danny, like sitting in school, and the lyrics talk about like how he was awkward and he was like tall and like lanky and no girls were like flirting with him. He didn't have a lot of friends. Like one lyric that at first, when I first heard it, I cackled because the lyric itself says, I sent birthday invites and now all my friend is here. And at first I was like, oh, that's hilarious. And then I was like, yeah, exactly. Then I was like,
it's relatable.
That's sad.
Yeah.
And I felt, but it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I lived, my parents are wonderful people. I've said that in a couple other episodes, and they provided everything I could have ever needed in my life. But I also lived out in the country, and all my friends lived in like the town and like the city. And, that's not a huge town that I come from, but I couldn't drive. Yeah. Which made it a huge town because like I might as well have lived an hour away from everybody with how infrequently I could see them outside of school, so a lot of my socialization growing up, I would say outside of school was like non-existent. And so for my friends who decided they liked me and found some value to me and stuck it out with me, I appreciate you guys, because I don't know what you were looking at there, but it's not surface level. So you guys knew how to do some digging. But yeah, that song is great. And, not just like teenage life, but it also is kind of in a really comedic and roundabout way tells his story about how he wanted to pursue music and he tried and then did it. So he talks about one lyrics is like step on stage and then come alive and no one cares that you're 35 because you're a rock star. And like, that's kind of like the moment in the song that's leading up to like the big hit moment, like the big emotional like release in the song. And I'm 31, right? And not to kind of get into it and be a drag, but like I kind of pictured when I was in my 30s, my life would look a lot different than it does now. We all like fantasize, about what our lives could look like. But one of the reasons I like learned some of these skills that I've learned, like in music and I wish I could sing. I make the joke with Andrew all the time. If I could sing, it would be over for everybody. I don't know what I mean when I say that, but I say it a lot.
It's just gonna be over.
Yeah, whatever that means. But I learned a lot of these like musical skills because at one point I was really hoping, by the time I was 30, I would have done something. We've got our friend Dalton. I joke with him a lot, but Dalton, if you're listening to this, I'm really serious about it, about like getting together and like performing and finding like a bar or something that we can go be a bar band at, and I hear recently I learned that Andrew can play the drums.
Why don't we just open up that D&D tavern?
The D&D tavern?
Yeah.
We'll do like a little D&D rock band situation.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. But anyways, I really relate to that song, Danny, don't you know? Because like, who knows what'll happen by the time I'm 35. Maybe I will step on stage and come alive. But yeah. Anyways. So what is your last note here?
Can I interrupt real quick?
Of course.
So your last Ninja Sex Party reminds me of Psycho Stick.
Psycho Stick.
Did you ever listen to them?
No.
Kaylee knows them.
Yeah. Walk me through that.
Do I?
This is not a song. It's a sandwich. I'll play that for you in a little bit. But
Waylon Love.
they're almost like your Ninja Sex Party. They're a comedic comedy
rock band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kami.
Also,
Dragon Ball Z. No.
Yeah. Kami, by the way, not the other version of Kami.
Nope, we're good. Yeah, we'll keep this PG.
We're good. We're non-political. We're PG. And we love everyone.
I had to throw that in there because I'm like, you were talking about comedic bands, and I was like, that reminds me of Psycho Stick.
Yeah.
There's another one called Beer. That's really, really, really good. Oh yeah,
just beer, like gulp, gulp, drink.
Yeah. Beer.
Oh, okay. Oh, with several exclamation points. And the number one.
And the number one because they too many times.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then there's another song. It's Because Boobs. Like
Because Boobs. Okay.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
They're also older. Like I've listened to them since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Since I was like teenager, not a kid. But
well, ironically, if you've ever watched Game Grumps, not to out him here, but Danny's like in his mid 40s now. So like, or maybe late 40s. I think maybe he's about to turn 50. If you've ever watched any of their stuff, you would not think that. Also, he doesn't look it and his voice doesn't sound it. It's very smooth. So highly recommend.
Yeah. All right. Take us through your number one.
Yeah. Walk us through it.
Not number one, but the last one on my list you guys will love.
Mm-hmm.
And it's The Shire by Howard Shore.
By Howard Shore.
Yep.
Yeah.
It says 4.7 million monthly listeners.
Yeah.
And I got to preface, not all great songs need lyrics.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed.
Because when I need a quiet day, doing dishes, cleaning my house, and I want to stay calm, this is what I turn on.
You know what Natalie and I call those days? Hobbit days.
Perfect.
We go out in our garden. We just cook a warm meal in the house and listen to music, and we call them Hobbit days.
I wasn't big into Lord of the Rings until I was with Andrew. You kind of, you can claim it. You kind of sparked that love and
claim
that
ownership.
That,
Can I claim?
And the music is very peaceful at times and very not peaceful at other times.
Yes,
gripping.
It makes you want to rage.
Yeah.
A bit.
I have to admit that I think it's because of my dad growing up.
Yeah.
I love my dad. My dad was a big nerd, still is. He plays all sorts of games like I do. Like I'm a duplicate of him, but he was huge on Lord of the Rings growing up. So we watched it every time, like almost every time I went over to his place that he would have something on like that. So
my dad's a nerd too, but he's a Star Wars nerd.
Yeah, he's a Star Wars nerd. My dad watched the Lord of the Rings a lot. So
yeah, he's all about Vader. Yeah, I also love the Irish and Celtic vibe of all of that music. It's just beautiful.
Oh yes. Beautiful. I work with, a percussion group in our town. And one show I've had on the back burner, which can I give him a little shout out? Does anyone mind?
I don't mind.
Okay. I am actually, I know for a fact, like a couple of our listeners are them. I am so stinking proud of you guys. If I don't express it outwardly, just know I'm always thinking it. at all times, especially with the things we do with our winter percussion, like our competitive winter percussion group. Phenomenal work at all times. Like they always, to me, operate at a caliber above what I expect. And I'm always grateful. You guys know I talk about the band gig a lot. It can wear me out, because I love it, but it is also work. I get a moment to share what I know with the next generation, which is what I'm about. That's what I like to do. And that's something I'm particularly, I guess, an area of teaching I'm particularly good at is percussion. And so, I just wanted to give a quick shout out. I'm always grateful for them. On the days that it gets hard to go to work and then go to work afterwards until 9 p.m. at night, they make it something that I want to do. That being said, what reminded me of that, I have ADHD, so I have to like loop us back in here.
We forgive you.
Thank you. I've had on the back burner for a couple of years now a Celtic show idea. And I've full admittance, we have two options. I'm not going to say the main option I always keep it a secret, and the students love and hate that. They ask me all year around what the show is going to be, and I don't tell them. And then I'll just randomly drop a video on social media on the band's like social media page and stuff like that. But this year I told them the name of the show. They smiled I said, if you guys get a gold rating at the contest we were at, which was the finals, like state finals for them, I said, I'll tell you the name of the show. I won't tell you the music that's in it, but I'll at least give you the name. And so they were like, what's the name? I was like, okay, smile for a picture first. And so I had them all posed up and I went, all right, 1, 2, 3, The Machine. And then I clicked the picture button and all of their mouths are like, like open and just gasping. And it's so funny. But The Machine is a different thing. Machine is plan A. Celtic Show is plan B. I'm hoping The Machine works out. I'm not telling them again what kind of music is in that. And they've guessed because we're in our summer season now and they've guessed and they've talked about it. But anyways, all of that side street, just I wanted to give them a shout out. I'm always very, very proud of them. And I know with the Celtic thing, they could pull it off. But yeah, no, Howard Shore, I'm so glad you included that because I'm going to be 100% with you. There were a couple songs that I was like, okay, I need to put these on my list, like some Star Wars music, but it'll suffice to say I do have a playlist that I regularly visit that it's my own custom playlist. It's on Spotify and it says orchestra music that gives me chills is the name of it. And it's got Lord of the Rings music. It's got Star Wars, other compositions.
I can relate because I listen to a lot of soundtracks from certain movies or just classical music in general. A lot of musicals as well.
Yeah, I don't want to dive too far into this, but and I'm not going to share specifics here, but Kaley, you and I have something in common. We're both neurodivergent. One thing I think you and I relate on specifically with like orchestral compositions and stuff like that is our brain chemistry operates with music a little differently than neurotypical individuals. And I like to relate it to that scene in Ratatouille where he's like eating the food and like the jazz music is playing and the lights and stuff are like swirling around him. And then I'll talk with, Natalie about that. And she's like, I mean, I could see that. And I'm like, you don't just like close your eyes when you listen to music and like see pictures and videos and memories and music and like images and stuff. And she's like, no, not really. Unless there's like a song that will specifically bring up a memory that then she'll have that in her head. But like for me, and maybe for you too, I don't know. It's always invoking something.
For me, it might not be like seeing something if I close my eyes, but it's definitely feeling it through my body.
Yeah.
And I want to dance, whether it be a slow song, whether it be classical. You can dance to anything.
You can dance to anything. Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
And then there's me over here that doesn't do any of that. And I just listen to music because it tickles my brain.
I'll bob my head every now and then if it's a real good, if it's a banger.
Yeah. I don't think I'm neurotypical, right? I don't know.
You got ADHD.
ADHD, that's it. That's it, though. I don't have anything else. So I don't listen to music because it makes me want to dance or because I can see the pictures.
Yeah.
I listen because it kind of tickles my ADHD.
Yeah.
And it's like, I like the beat and I like how the stuff plays out, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But
I am a little jealous of you guys because you guys can read music and my brain can't comprehend how to read music.
That's hard work for me.
It took a lot of studying.
Which more props to percussion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly.
Even being able to read music.
It's hard. And
I can listen to music and hear it by sound. And that's how I would end up trying to play on the piano. But
I will say I'm by no means a professional musician. Okay.
No, me neither.
I think one thing I kick myself for is I've had opportunities in the past that I was too scared to take. Music is all skill and chance and being in the right place at the right time for things like that and taking those opportunities as they're given to you. And I didn't take some opportunities, in another world, another reality. I might be sitting here today, saying like I played with the London Symphony Orchestra and all this, that, or I was in Star Wars episode, whatever soundtrack as one of the percussion, the guy who hits the gong or the big cymbals or something. But I didn't take opportunities. Now, none of those were that big. None of my opportunities were that big. But everyone starts somewhere. Right. So if I could go back 10 years ago, which was when I had my first big opportunity and I turned it down, I would just, if I could see me, at 21, hearing those words come out of that person's mouth and go like whisper in my ear, take that chance.
I think we all had those moments in our lives.
Yeah. But I will say on that note, you mentioned like reading music. I'm pretty okay at it. I'm pretty good at it. I will say though, when there's a really complex piece in front of me, like I sent you guys some videos of me learning some guitar stuff the other day, and that's on something totally different, not sheet music or whatever. Even that is simplifies. I don't want to say what the program is that I'm doing because, copyright, but even that is like simplified as that program makes it. When I first see a song, I'm like, whoa. It stresses me out. I'll have to step away, same thing with like a complex piece of sheet music. When I sit down at my piano and start learning something, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is nuts. I'll
have to bring over my, I think it's called a kalimba.
Yeah. Kalimba.
Yeah.
I love those.
Bring that over and it does have like the notes on it.
Yeah.
But it has numbers.
Yeah.
And that's what I can understand.
It helps. Yeah. Numbers help. That's one way I teach my percussionists is, when you have 4/16 notes put together, you say 1 E and da, 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 da. When they have a hard time with that, I teach them like word association. So we say like Indiana. So if we have a rhythm, it's like 1 E and a 2 and I'll say Indiana ice cream. And that helps like my new ones be able to go, I'm not going to clap it into the mic, but da, 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 Indiana ice cream. Yep. So yeah, like the number thing, that's huge. Okay. That's big. My last topic on here. Sorry, I really went on a side street here.
It's the fun part though.
It is the fun part. Yeah. Okay. I bet, Andrew, you're looking at my notes here.
I am.
You probably could have guessed this.
Drum roll, please.
It's the Beatles.
Yep.
Okay. Let It Be specifically. If I had to pick a number one song, okay, Let It Be. There's also a less popular song from them called Hey Bulldog that I also really love. And obviously everybody also knows Hey Jude,
Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, and Yellow Submarine. Let It Be, though. The reason it takes the number one spot always, and it will. The Beatles will, at least for the foreseeable future, be my number one spot. My bass guitar hanging on the wall behind you is inspired by Paul McCartney's viola bass, his Hofner viola bass. I chose Let It Be because it reminds me to just take a deep breath. It reminds me to exist and let it be. Like there are things out there I cannot control. There are things in the world that I am not a fan of that are just happening around me and make me sick to my stomach to see and to hear about. But I'm I'm doing what I can do with you guys on this podcast to fix that. And that is for 30 minutes to an hour, give our listeners like a safe space to exist.
Yes.
And for all of us to just let it be together. And that's not saying dismiss things. You know, we have voices, we have abilities to make change, but there are also moments when you can't kill yourself or sacrifice yourself to fix everyone's problems.
And you can't control everything.
You can control yourself, you know, in any situation. So Let It Be just reminds me of that, to enjoy, you know, the life that is mine, to share special moments with the people that I love. And ultimately, Let It Be reminds me to focus on the good, to sometimes just let the bad roll, like let it roll away. And yeah, I don't have any tattoos, but if I ever get a tattoo, I've already got it planned out, and like script is just, as cliche as it sounds, I know there's musicians out there that have it, but I'm just going to let it be. Because it is just such a driving force. You know, we have a very dear friend to the three of us who's going through some things right now in their life. And there are so many times, and I know as they're listening to this episode, there are so many times that they'll text me and say, this is what's going on, this is what's going on. And I'll say, specifically with certain things involving me, in a past situation that I've removed myself from. And I will say to this individual, don't worry about it. Let it roll off. I'm out of that situation. You don't need to waste your time and your life being mad at something on my behalf, you know? And so to you who's listening, let it be. And I mean that in the most positive way, not let it go. Just exist, live your life, be happy, share the moments that are good with the people that you love, like we're doing in this room right now, you know, and for our listeners. So, yeah.
My favorite Beatles song is Blackbird.
I love Blackbird. That's actually the first Beatles song I learned to play on my guitar. Now I went, Natalie did one of the best things, you know, a partner could do, for me, and she got me tickets to see Paul McCartney a few years ago for my birthday. And again, I'm not an emotional person, but I was stunned when she handed me an envelope on my birthday. And I opened it up, and I pulled out these tickets, and I just didn't say anything. And she goes, do you not like them? Because my face was just, and I was like, I don't know what to say. Like, that was my response. Like, in front of my family that was in there, I was like, I just don't know what to say. I just can't believe it. You know, and we went, and on the note of Blackbird, he starts playing it, and he stops and he goes, now, I want to say there's a lot of you out there that think you know how to play this song, but you don't. And he's like, at least not the way that I wrote it. And he's like, you probably watched this video from this gal on the YouTube that goes like this. And he played it the way she played it. And I was like, oh yeah, Paul, that's the way I learned it. But I can still play it that way. And I love it. You know, I have my banjo guitar hybrid back there, and in kind of a fun way, that song sounds really good on that. So yeah. Maybe we'll sit around a campfire later and I'll pop that bad boy out.
You should.
Go.
Only if you guys will sing it though. Okay. Deal. Is this the start of our band today? Like,
I don't know. I have stage fright.
Me too. Actually, ironically, I have crazy stage fright. That's one of the things that kept me from those opportunities.
I have fear of singing in front of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just will pierce your ears if I sing. So
Same.
Sing.
I cannot. I've tried really, and honestly, I've put in an honest effort, and I just have to reserve myself to the fact that I can't.
I will have to agree with Andrew. You don't want him to sing.
Andrew's an ear piercer.
I am. My voice does not go very well over singing, so I'm good.
That's okay. We'll forgive you.
I'll just play the drums.
I'll
just smash in some drums.
There we go. Well, lucky for you, I've got drums.
I'm right next to it.
And you're sitting right next to my drum set.
Yeah.
Well,
you touch my drum set?
No, I didn't touch your drum set. We got to keep it PG here, man.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, thank you, Kaley, for joining us again. And thank you for inviting us to this topic. I don't know if you knew when you pitched this idea that you'd be opening a whole can of worms.
Oh, I didn't.
I know, shocker, right? Anytime we're gaming and I'm like yelling lyrics to songs in your guys' ear. You're like, I had no clue.
Yeah, music. I may not know how to read it, but music has helped me through a lot of struggle parts of my life, and it's very emotional for me. So.
Yeah. Well, to our listeners, we'd love to hear your top 5 favorite songs / artists. So drop them in the comments. And as always, tell us what you want to hear from us next.
But we also have to tell the people listening that our number 1 picks of all of them are the Thick Boys.
The Thick Boys.
The Thick Boys.
Yeah.
We have to shout them out again.
Yes. Again, get on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Thick Boys. And that's 3 C's, 3 I's, and a Z at the end. And give them a listen. Show them your love. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I highly suggest the song New Poison. So.
Okay.
Yeah. New episodes Monday. Check us out. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Tune in on Mondays for new episodes.